Get ready for The Splash Live, Greater West Bloomfield's dedicated update show. Events, businesses, and people. Anything and anyone causing a ripple in the community. And now, let's dive in to The Splash Live.
Welcome back to The Splash Live, Greater West Bloomfield's live daily news and talk show. It's your stories from your hometown, from your community media outlets. I'm Tyler Kieft, alongside Dayan Chaaban. You can always join us each and every day, all day long, on Civic Center TV, on Comcast Channel 15, and on AT&T Channel 99. For you non-cable subscribers, we're also available to you online on civiccentertv.com. Click on our Watch Live link, or that's also a place you can find all of our shows and each individual segment on demand as well. You can also find us on social media as you're out and about today on Facebook. We're on both our Facebook page on today's program at Civic Center TV 15, and joined once again this week by our friends at the West Bloomfield Fire Department, and we give a huge shout out and thank you to them. And if you haven't already followed them on Facebook, liked their page on Facebook, we encourage you to do so. You can also join us on our YouTube page, where we have all of our programs live each and every day, including West Bloomfield Laker football coming up tonight at Civic Center TV. That is YouTube. Just search West Bloomfield Civic Center TV or Greater West Bloomfield Civic Center TV, or go to youtube.com/Civic Center TV to find our YouTube page. Live programs, and it's also somewhere where if you have to leave midway through the show, you can come right back and join us where you left off the next time you come to YouTube on our channel. You can also join us on the radio every morning as you're driving into work, taking your kids to school, going off to appointments, or just enjoying the sunshine here in Greater West Bloomfield out on the road on 89.3 Lakes FM. That's also available to you on lakesfm.com. Diane, another beautiful day yesterday. Felt a lot like fall. Today, very similar, a little bit warmer as we head into a great night for football in Birmingham for the Lakers and Groves.
Tyler, we are being greeted with a very sunny day today. It's a very beautiful day, and it's going to be warming up. We're going to be expecting highs of 73 and lows of 50. And as we go into Friday, temperatures are also expected to warm up with the highs of 78 and the lows of 57. And as we transition into the weekend, we're going to expect partly cloudy skies, with temperatures continuing to warm up to the highs of 84 and lows of 67. Beautiful weekend, Tyler, to spend an outdoors day and to watch all these amazing football games that are coming up.
Yeah, a great weekend of football begins tonight in the Big Ten with some matchups. Tomorrow, Michigan State begins their season against Central Michigan, and the University of Michigan on Saturday. A beautiful weekend for football and a beautiful weekend out here in our community. But I spoke a little bit too soon yesterday. I was saying, hey, look, it feels like fall out here. It should feel like the dog days of summer. And I looked forward a little bit. I took a sneak peek at the weather for early on next week over Labor Day weekend. Looks like it could get upwards of the 90s. So get ready for some heat after a couple days of cooler than usual weather. This morning, just a few minutes actually before we went live for our morning edition of the Splash Live, a great picture was posted on Facebook. Laura Rossini Coleman on Facebook posted a beautiful picture of the sunrise over a lake in West Bloomfield Township. I believe we have that image for you right here. Look at this picture. Nice little lens flare. The sun coming just up over the tree line in the back of that picture. A beautiful picture on Facebook this morning from right here in Greater West Bloomfield. That's in West Bloomfield Township. If you have pictures like that, you want to send us your morning sunrise from wherever you are in the 4 communities we cover each and every day on this program, or even across Oakland County, you can always send us a picture, tag us on Facebook at Civic Center TV 15 and on Twitter at Civic Center TV. Same thing on Instagram. You'll find us at Civic Center TV. And hey, you send us those pictures, you tag us in those pictures, you may get a shout out on today's program like Laura Rossini Coleman. It didn't tag us, but that was a picture labeled in West Bloomfield Township on Facebook this morning. A great way to start this sunny Thursday in Greater West Bloomfield. Making headlines today, of course, we've been talking about this all week. The West Bloomfield Police Department is hiring a new police officer. You have a chance to apply for that position, or if you're looking to get into law enforcement, there are other positions that have now also opened in the police department, and we'll tell you about that. As kids are back in school, the Keego Harbor Police Department wants to remind you to be safe around school buses, what you need to be aware of, what what you need to be even more aware of nowadays that schools are back in session. Tonight, the West Bloomfield Lakers head off to Birmingham to take on the Wiley E. Groves Falcons at the brand new Falcon Field. Our coverage will begin tonight at 6 o'clock. Matt Catoni will join me on the program in just a little bit to preview tonight's game between the Lakers of the OAA Red Division and the Groves Falcons of the OAA White Division. Plus, paramedic positions available through the West Bloomfield Fire Department. Maybe not in their department, but in other departments too. You could have an opportunity to learn to be a paramedic on scholarship. 6 opportunities are available. Dave DeBoer, the Deputy Fire Marshal for West Bloomfield Township's Fire Department, will talk to Dayan Chaaban about those opportunities. If maybe you had exited your high school career a little bit early or didn't finish your high school credits, the West Bloomfield School District has a new program to help you recover those credits you may have either lost or not completed to get your GED, to get your high school diploma. We'll give you the details on that in a little bit. Speaking of the dog days of summer, you can celebrate those on the Civic Center Trail behind Town Hall, West Bloomfield Parks, the library, and the police department over the weekend with one of our parks naturalists. We'll give you the details on how you can participate in that event. Plus, more fun events in the business community coming up all across the fall from the Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce. I'll give you the details on those also a little bit later on. And as we experienced a little bit of fall weather on Wednesday of this week, maybe even some more in the very near future, apple orchards and cider mills are opening across the community, and Dayan Chaaban will give you some information on some of those that are open in Greater West Bloomfield and across Oakland County, or opening soon later on in the program. A lot of news and information to get to. We'll get to that and start off in just a few minutes. This is your stories from your hometown on your community media outlet. The Splash Live returns after this.
We'll be right back with the Splash Live.
1 in 4 Michigan homes has high levels of radon, a naturally occurring radioactive gas known to cause lung cancer. It doesn't matter where you live or what type of home you have. You won't even know it's there unless you test. So don't wait. Testing is cheap and easy, and if there's a problem, it's simple to fix. Visit michigan.gov/radon to learn more.
We took action. Will you?
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Watch West Bloomfield Lakers football all season long on 89.3 Lakes FM and Civic Center TV. Join Tyler Kieft and Matt Catoni each week for live, in-depth, and exclusive coverage before, during, the big game. It's your local high school football team on the road and in your backyard on your home for West Bloomfield Laker football, Civic Center TV, and 89.3 Lakes FM. And now, back to the Splash Live.
Welcome back to the Splash Live, Greater West Bloomfield's live daily news and talk show. It's your stories from your hometown right here on your community media outlet. I'm Tyler Kieft alongside Dayan Chaaban. Thank you for joining us on Civic Center TV, on Comcast Channel 15 and AT&T Channel 99, on the radio on 89.3 Lakes FM, and today on social media on our Facebook page at Civic Center TV 15 and the West Bloomfield Fire Department's Facebook page, also joining us live for today's program. You can also always join us as well and find us on demand on our YouTube page at Civic Center TV. The West Bloomfield Police Department is looking to add you potentially to the ranks of their officers out on patrol all throughout the community. The police department looking to hire a new police officer with pay rates for those that are Academy sponsored applicants beginning at just under $52,000, a little bit over $51,500 for Academy sponsored applicants. For those that have graduated the Academy, a little bit of an economic boost in that starting pay, $56,800 for Academy graduates, and those with experience as a police officer in a variety of capacities may actually get upwards of $82,000 as their entry pay for this job, hiring a new officer, and the lowest for experienced officers, starting pay right around $61,000. Plenty of benefits that come along with taking on this job. Of course, a nice healthy salary and a pension, as well as Blue Cross Blue Shield PPO insurance with dental and vision, training opportunities, advancement opportunities. We heard earlier this week about officers being promoted to sergeant and sergeants being promoted to lieutenants. Also other opportunities. You can be in the K-9 unit. You can become a detective with the police department, join their Joint Terrorism Task Force, and other special opportunities in law enforcement through our West Bloomfield Police Department. You can apply right now through September 13th. That is 2 weeks from yesterday, on wbtownship.org/jobs. In addition, if maybe you aren't in the academy yet, you're considering a career in law enforcement, maybe you want to try something out first before you settle in on deciding that is the career path you want to take. A great opportunity also available as a police service aide. This is formerly known as being a police cadet with the West Bloomfield Police Department. Over the last several years, that has been known as a police service aide position. This is a part-time position, and for the first 6 months in this part-time position, your starting pay would be $20.04 per hour. After 6 months, that bumps up $1 to $21.04. Please keep in mind, this is not a temporary position. It's a part-time position, but it is not temporary. You need to be available for every possible shift in that police department, as a police service aide. The other minimum requirements in order to apply: you got to be a citizen of the United States, be at least 18 years old, and enrolled either in a college degree program or have obtained at least an associate's degree. That position is available also on wbtownship.org, but that application is coming up a lot sooner. Wednesday, September 7th. That is this coming Wednesday. After Labor Day. The Wednesday after Labor Day, those applications are due if you want to become a part-time police service aide, and provides a great pathway also to a career in law enforcement with the West Bloomfield Police Department. wbtownship.org for more information on those jobs, as well as others available throughout West Bloomfield Township, whether it's in public safety or other departments. wbtownship.org/jobs. In Keego Harbor, their police department providing a reminder to those all across our 4 communities and beyond. School is back in session, or in some communities, it will be back in session following the Labor Day holiday, which means you need to be keeping better mind out on our roadways for school buses. During the school year, when buses are actively picking up and dropping off kids, there are a number of hazards that can arise as kids are getting onto or off of the buses. As the Keego Harbor Police Department wrote on their Facebook page in this post that we're referencing, kids are often the most unpredictable pedestrians that we have, and that's all the more reason we need to be extra cautious around our bus stops, or anytime we're seeing a bus come to a full stop, especially if, as you're seeing in this picture, on CivicCenterTV.com, on our on-demand page, and on our YouTube page at Civic Center TV. When those lights come on, when those stop signs come out, it is your reminder to make a stop, provide some distance to that bus, and do not attempt to pass a bus in either direction, whether you are behind that bus or, like you're seeing in this image on your screen, your car coming in the other direction. Do not pass that bus. You could get fined. At the very least, you may incur a fine from the 48th District Court in our 4 communities, from anywhere from $100 to $500. And a little inside court information here from the Keego Harbor Police Department. They say the 48th District Court in these scenarios tends to err a little bit on the higher side with those fines, so upwards of $500 if you violate those stop signs on those school buses. Those are valid stop signs. They are not suggestions. Keego Harbor Police Department says they are also out on the lookout for violators of these rules, and they will pull you over. They will give you a ticket, and you will face the 48th District Court if you violate these rules. Only exception to passing a bus when those lights are on is if there is a physical roadway barrier in between you and the bus. That, for example, would be a divided highway. If you're on the opposite side of a divided highway, that provides a barrier that allows you to continue forward, even if a bus has made a stop on the side of the road. You think about something like Telegraph or Woodward. If you're on one side of the divided highway and a bus is stopped on that side and you're still moving in the opposite bound direction, you don't have to stop, of course, for that school bus, because the divided highway is providing you with a barrier that is presuming safety for the kids and for you in those situations. If you have more questions about this, call the non-emergency numbers for your local police department and ask them questions. When is it legal for me to pass a school bus? When is it not legal for me to pass a school bus? What constitutes that physical barrier that allows me to pass one of these buses? And any other questions you may have on this matter or other matters that regard school bus safety and your vehicle out on the roads as school is back in session. Dayan, very important. We've talked all throughout the week and even last week about back to school safety for parents and for students, but also includes other motorists on the road as kids are getting picked up and dropped off to school each day.
That is true, Tyler. It is very essential that these drivers and motorists never ever cross the school bus and drive very slowly when you're approaching any school, whether there's a school bus or not. As you said, Tyler, kids are very unpredictable pedestrians. They sometimes tend to run for absolutely no reason, so it is very essential to be very careful. We are the adults here. We are the people who are driving here, so we must be careful when kids are trying to pass or around school buses. Always drive slow. Always make sure you never cross that school bus, even when there's no stop sign, Tyler. It's essential that we try to get to work earlier rather than try to speed around those schools. We know that there are schools now. We need to make more time for ourselves in the morning. So make sure that we make this time, drive slowly, and teach our teenage and high school drivers. There are new high school drivers right now. Teach them how to be very careful around their school or driving around any school. So it is absolutely essential. And we did talk yesterday, Tyler, and we have been talking about it. We did talk to Officer James last week about how to teach our kids to cross and to get into the bus safely. This is essential, and it's a dual responsibility on both the drivers, the parents, and the children as well.
Yeah, a really good tip from that discussion with Officer James Pettinato, crime prevention officer with the West Bloomfield Police Department, was the suggestion that as your kids are crossing in front of the school bus after they get off the bus to cross the street, you do so about 6 feet in front of that bus. That allows the moment when you are just passing the opposite end of the bus as you're coming around the front of it. That allows drivers to see you right away, and at the very least, if they are illegally trying to pass the bus, they may have a better opportunity to see you and stop quickly in those scenarios. All the more reason to practice school safety at the bus stop with your kids as we're early on in the school year, or for those of you, for example, in the Bloomfield Hills School District, are beginning the school year next week. We'll take a break on the Splash Live. On the other side, a huge game tonight between the West Bloomfield Lakers and the Birmingham Groves Falcons. Again, the Lakers on the road this week, looking to come back home next week for Family Fun Night 2-0. Matt Gattoni will join me after this break, our color commentator for West Bloomfield Laker football and sports reporter here at Civic Center TV, to discuss the big game, as well as Laker alums making headlines at the college level as college football kicks off tonight for its regular season as well. Stay tuned. More of your stories from your hometown on your community media coming up after this break.
We'll be right back with the Splash Live.
Okay, Dad. 1, 2, 3. You saved me. Dad?
Are you okay?
I'm fine, dear.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiver.
I'm an ex-drug dealer, and I'll be your sub today. Two milligrams of fentanyl can be lethal. A lethal dose is in here. Who gets it, I won't know.
It's cheap, it's potent, and it's profitable. The sad reality is, fentanyl is being mixed into everything now.
More kitchen now.
Pure is what you make of it. It's how the hustle of the cities can change the course of history. It's the beauty of the things we create on a canvas, on a plate, or stretched high above the sidewalk. It's a patch of green or a stretch of blue, right in the heart of downtown. It's the buzz of it all, or if you prefer, it's tuning it all out. Clear your schedule and pursue your Pure in Pure, Michigan.
And now, back to The Splash, live.
Welcome back to The Splash Live, Greater West Bloomfield's live daily news and talk show. It's your stories from your hometown on your community media outlets. I'm Tyler Kieft alongside Dayan Chaaban, thanking you for joining us on Civic Center TV, on 89.3 Lakes FM, on our website at civiccentertv.com, as well as on Facebook today with the West Bloomfield Fire Department, as well as our page at Civic Center TV 15, and on YouTube at Civic Center TV. Those are a lot of the places you're going to see tonight's big football game between the West Bloomfield Lakers and the Birmingham Groves Falcons. Another game on the road tonight. The Lakers taking on the Falcons at their brand new Falcon Field in Birmingham. Kickoff at 7 o'clock. Our coverage begins with This Week in Laker Football at 6 o'clock, and the Laker Football pregame show begins at 6:30. Joining me now on the Splash Live is the same guy that will be joining me on the Laker pregame show, as well as for full coverage of the game itself and the Laker post-game show, Matt Catoni, our sports reporter and color commentator for West Bloomfield Lakers football, with us on the Splash Live. Matt, thank you for being with us today.
Hi, Tyler. Thank you for having me. Great to be here.
Yeah, big game coming up tonight. The Lakers and Groves taking on each other, both 1-0. The Lakers from the OAA Red Division, Groves from the OAA White Division, and two teams that have had a ton of success in recent seasons, are very well coached, have a lot of talent on the roster. You can expect this to be a really interesting game tonight in Birmingham.
Yep. Groves came out firing last week. They were dominant in their week one win, winning 36-3. West Bloomfield had to sweat out a win with Chippewa Valley last week. A little bit different competition for West Bloomfield, but both got the win nonetheless. So it's going to be interesting to see how these teams come out in week two and how bad each of them want to be 2-0 and in good position to move on forward with their season.
Yeah, a lot of these teams taking on the cliche of iron sharpens iron. That's something that defensive coordinator for the Lakers, Kevin Jakeway, told me this week on This Week in Laker Football, as I talked to him about the challenge of going up against some of these really talented teams early on in the season, having those early tests of the willpower of your team, the skill of your team, the competitiveness of your team. That's very much the same situation for Birmingham Groves, who this week is taking on the Lakers. In the coming weeks, they'll also take on Southfield A&T. Really a battle for the top of the OAA White Division. And as I said earlier, Matt, they are a team that's loaded with talent as well, particularly in the trenches, with one of the top players in the entire state.
Yeah, we also saw that at the OAA Media Day that they were one of the more experienced teams, returning a lot of their starters on both offense and defense. So, again, it's just going to be interesting. The Lakers have a young offensive line, but their defense is one of the more experienced, so it's going to be interesting to see how they match up with another experienced offense with Birmingham.
Yeah, Lakers last week, a 22-21 victory over Chippewa Valley at the Zenith Prep Kickoff Classic, their second consecutive road game this week. Another Thursday game before they get a nice long break before they go back to Fridays next week at home for their home opener on Family Fun Night against Rochester Hills, Stony Creek. And for the Lakers last week, what was really interesting about that game, the defense, despite giving up 21 points, was excellent all throughout the game. That score more a testament to the offensive firepower of Chippewa Valley than to the defensive than to any sort of defensive lacking from the West Bloomfield Lakers. And same goes for the offense. The biggest struggle for the Lakers last week was really in their running game, with Josh Tate, their primary running back, having just 3 yards, and Brody Pecor, their secondary running back, their power back, just 4 yards of rushing. The Lakers really had to rely on the game in the air last week, and this week could be a similar tale, a very physical team in the trenches for Birmingham Groves.
Yeah, last week against Chippewa, we saw both of the offensives kind of being, really polar opposite of each other. Chippewa really running more and really only getting a few runs, just really committing to the run, and eventually just a few of them breaking through. Whereas the Lakers kept on going deep with, Nelson and Durham most of the time. So it's going to be interesting to see if the Lakers can kind of get the run game going tonight and not necessarily have to put all the shoulders on the passing game, and even the quarterback being forced to run it as he did often in the second half against Chippewa.
Yeah, I had a chance to talk with Elijah Durham a little bit this week, have a little back and forth with him about that week 1 performance. Over 150 yards receiving, including a touchdown early on in the game at the Zenith Prep Kickoff Classic last week. Was really excited to get out there and show what he is made of. A guy that says he's been a little bit underrated in his opinion because of his size, because of his lack of varsity experience. A guy that came up last season and got some so-called 5th quarter reps, which is you get to play an extra quarter of varsity ball if you've already played a full JV game in a week, and had a really big breakout game last week. The Lakers filled with weapons on this offense coming into week 2, and it'll be a really interesting game coming up tonight. Again, 7 o'clock kickoff against Birmingham Groves. Our coverage will begin at 6 o'clock with This Week in Laker Football. Get some insight from head coach Zach Hilbers, from defensive coordinator Kevin Jakeway, as well as arguably the star of last week's game, Rick Nance, who was 14 for 23 passing for 238 yards and a couple of touchdowns for the Lakers. Also hear from the senior quarterback on this week's edition of This Week in Laker Football. Then the Laker pregame show coming up at 6:30. All of this on civiccentertv.com/Lakersports beginning at 6 o'clock This Week in Laker Football, and our live coverage begins at 6:30. Matt, also a lot of action from Lakers on the college football level. We know that Donovan Edwards is expected to have a big season for the University of Michigan, but another guy that's maybe not getting as much notoriety as he should be is Makari Page, looking like he's getting there's some promise to his game in his senior season at the University of Michigan, but perhaps some question marks for week 1.
Yeah, Ann Arbor's going to be a lot. You're going to hear a lot about West Bloomfield players this fall. Makari Page was recently named to the Senior Bowl watch list and is looking to have really a key role on the Wolverines defense this fall. But unfortunately, as you mentioned towards the end there, he may be missing Saturday with an undisclosed injury. Right now, he's kind of fighting through it, so it's going to be interesting to see whether or not he suits up on Sunday against Eastern Carolina. But as for Donovan Edwards, it's really exciting to see what he's going to do this fall. He noticed that he's about 350 yards roughly from breaking the running back receiving record for the Wolverines. So he said that's something that he knows, that he wants everyone to know that he knows. So he's going to really be gunning for that record this year, so it's going to be really fun to watch.
Yeah, Donovan Edwards, just a junior this season in Ann Arbor at the University of Michigan, expected to be part of that two-headed monster in the backfield alongside Blake Corum, who was a Heisman candidate last season, and Donovan Edwards, someone that's on that watch list early in the season for a lot of pundits and a lot of players also at the college level. Has 2 years of eligibility left, but we'd expect this to be most likely his final season in Ann Arbor before he starts playing on Sundays. Another college football player that's going to be having a prolific season in the receiving game is just a little bit to the west of Ann Arbor in East Lansing. Trey Mosley for the Michigan State Spartans, going to be their primary wide receiver target this season, either for Noah Kim or Caton Hauser, or possibly Levitt also could get that starting job. We aren't going to know until really kickoff on Friday against Central Michigan who's going to be the quarterback throwing to Trey Mosley, but getting a lot of praise not only from the coaching staff but also from players as he was named a captain for the season.
Yeah, Mosley spoke to the media just this week as they gear up for their game on Friday, and he said he's really looking forward to stepping into the number 1 wide receiver role this year as a competitor mainly. But he said that given his past relationship with guys like Cody White, Darryl Stewart, Josh Naylor, and Jaden Reed, he's eager now to just really step into that number 1 wide receiver role and really establish himself as a playmaker in really one of the best conferences in the entire country.
Yeah, one of those guys that reminds me a lot from his approach to the game, his approach to his talent, of someone like Tim Duncan, a longtime San Antonio Spur in the NBA, someone that plays a really good game, a really solid game, puts up good numbers, but isn't someone that's necessarily going to talk a lot about it or even get the praises he deserves for that game. Trey Mosley expected to have a big season in East Lansing for Mel Tucker and his Spartans. A little bit west of that, Cornell Wheeler, a former University of Michigan Wolverine, and of course a longtime star linebacker for the West Bloomfield Lakers, also getting the praises of his coaching staff at Kansas.
Yeah, Cornell Wheeler seems to be doing tremendously at Kansas, especially this past offseason. The team is very happy with his development and how he's grown over this past 6 months as a player. the defensive coordinator even going as far as saying, if Cornell Wheeler needs to get in there and really have a key role and be playing a lot more, he feels very good about him being in that linebacker position and having a key role for the Kansas defense.
Yeah, Kansas having an impressive season a year ago, a team that's been a little bit on the up and up over the last several years, but still a bit of a back and forth team, particularly on that defensive side, being the strong suit for the Jayhawks, and Cornell Wheeler expected to be a big part of that. And then you look at East Lansing, Dylan Tatum also expected to have a bigger role for the Spartans on the defensive side, and Scotty Hazelton's secondary, and guys like Amir Herring and Samaj Morgan may also be having an impact, especially Samaj in Ann Arbor in their freshman season at the University of Michigan. This week for Jesse Minter, but in the coming weeks for Jim Harbaugh after he comes back off of their self-imposed suspension for 3 games to start the season. Matt, we'll see you later on tonight for West Bloomfield Laker football game. Thank you for joining us today.
Yep, thank you for having me.
Lakers kick off against the Birmingham Groves Falcons live from Falcon Field at 7 o'clock. Our coverage begins with This Week in Laker Football at 6 o'clock, and then the Laker pregame show at 6:30 right here, Civic Center TV, civiccentertv.com/Lakersports. We'll have a link for you for that right on our homepage just before our broadcast begins tonight. And of course, you can listen to us on the road on 89.3 Lakes FM and view us live and on demand on our YouTube page at Civic Center TV. You can also find us on Facebook, both on our page and the Facebook page of the West Bloomfield School District via Facebook Live. We'll take a break on the Splash Live. On the other side, opportunities to get into the fire service, either in West Bloomfield or surrounding communities. If you're looking to become a paramedic, there are scholarship opportunities for your paramedic education through the West Bloomfield Fire Department. After the break, Dayan Chaaban will talk to Deputy Fire Marshal Dave DeBoer about that. More of your news and your stories from your hometown, from your community media after this on the Splash Live.
We'll be right back with the Splash Live.
Wondering what to say to someone who's been sexually assaulted or abused?
I believe you. I'm so sorry this happened.
It's not your fault.
Confidential and anonymous help is available at the Michigan Sexual Assault Hotline. Connect with us 24/7. Call 855-VOICES-4 or text 1-866-238-1454 for help. Learn more at michigan.gov/voices4.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible. She must be a keeper.
Okay, Dad. 1, 2, 3. You saved me. Dad?
Are you okay?
I'm fine, dear.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiver.
And now, back to the Splash Live.
Welcome back to the Splash Live, Greater West Bloomfield's live daily news and talk show. This is Dayan Chaaban alongside Tyler Kieft. So the West Bloomfield Fire Department has announced the availability of 6 scholarships for individuals who are interested in pursuing career and education as a paramedic. And we do have Deputy Fire Marshal of the West Bloomfield Fire Department, Dave DeBoer, here to tell us all about it. Dave, thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having me on the show. We're excited about this.
Thank you so much. It's great having you. It's our pleasure having you on the show. Can you please tell us a little bit more about these scholarships that you are providing and how did they come about?
So the way it came about is through a federal grant. We applied for a grant looking for some assistance to try something new. Nationwide, we're struggling to hire in emergency services, and So we put our heads together and said, what else can we do to make a difference? You see a lot of communities that are offering lateral pay and some different things to try and entice people to come over. We felt that method just makes it worse for somebody else or some other community. So we wanted to be more proactive and offer some assistance. We know we've got kids that want to go into the field, but don't necessarily have the money for college. So we applied and we were awarded a scholarship or some money to be able to put 6 people through paramedic school and get them through that training, get their feet wet, and we can sponsor them and help them along the way and hopefully get them back as employees here, protecting our citizens here in West Bloomfield.
That is great. Can you please tell us a little bit more about the eligibility criteria of any individual who's interested in pursuing these scholarships?
Yes. They've got to be 18 years of age. They've got to have their EMT program done already, which thankfully through the West Bloomfield School District and through Oakland County schools, kids are able to get that EMT license in high school. So some of our graduating students from West Bloomfield High School already have that in place and are eligible for these scholarships. One other thing that we're expanding it outside our borders also to the paramedic programs at OCC, at Macomb Community College, at Schoolcraft College, looking for anybody in any of the counties that kind of touch the borders of Oakland County so that we cast that broad net and hopefully attract students of different groups so that we can help diversify our forces. We know that's been a goal for our community for quite some time, and hopefully this will help that process also.
Now, this is great. Can you also tell us just a little bit more on how they can apply? I know that there's a link and application that has been shared, but tell us a little bit more about how they can apply and what is your selection process?
The process is spelled out. We've got that posted on the website, so people can go to our website, pick that up, and get that, or they can call the fire department. We can send it to them. But they're going to do a little essay explaining why they want to be a paramedic and what their goals are, and then they'll come in for an interview process so that we can get to know them a little bit and then make some decisions from there. We're hoping to get a large number of applicants to pick from. There are several programs out there and kids that are already registered. You also have to be registered in a program to apply. So you'd have to be registered with one of those colleges we spoke about a second ago in order to get through that process. But it'll be pretty quick. We hope to make some announcements by the end of October, early November-ish. So get those letters in now if you know somebody that's looking.
That's great. Thank you so much for all these insights. Also, what do you expect from these scholarship recipients? Like whoever gets this scholarship, what are they expected to do? What do you expect from them?
Well, we expect them to do well in that program and put their best foot forward. Anybody that represents West Bloomfield in any way should do their best, and that we expect that to be the standard when we have guys through fire programs and through the fire academy. We want them to be in that upper tier of that group and be a leader in that program. A lot of the training programs that our firefighters and paramedics go through are a little bit competitive, and we want you to be competitive. We want you to be on the higher end of that program, but we also want to be there to support you and assist in whatever way we can to get you through that training so we can get you into the field and get you working.
That is great. Of course, they should. I believe that most paramedics are altruistic people in nature, so I think this is a great quality also to possess as you apply to being a paramedic, or if you are pursuing a career in education in paramedics as well. What is also for people who are interested or candidates who are interested in pursuing this scholarship, is there any room to grow after applying? Like, I understand they might go back to work with you, but what is to expect in the future? What is to look into the future? What can we tell them?
So there's a lot of growth potential. They can, as a paramedic, you can work as a paramedic here in a fire department and be a firefighter paramedic, which we think is the best EMS model out there. You can work in a hospital as a paramedic. There's flight crew paramedics. There's different opportunities as a paramedic. Coming here to the fire department, we have a ton of different opportunities of ways to go where the people can branch into some of the specialized services that we provide, like the hazardous material or technical rescue or urban search and rescue and things, EMS instructing, all those different fields. Some of our paramedics have gone on to become RNs and have their RN license and their paramedic license so that they can serve the community at a greater capacity. So there is a ton of growth potential, even just within the fire service and where your career can go. And it's a very rewarding career. Every day is a little different, so it's not the same thing every day. You're seeing new things every day, but you're out there helping people. Sometimes that help is simple and an easy thing that we can handle in a few minutes, and sometimes it's more advanced stuff that takes a lot more care and precision. But a great job, great, and what a great community to work for. Very well supported by our elected officials and the community in general.
That is great. I actually wanted to ask you a little bit about the non-materialistic rewards that a person can get from being a first aid or a paramedic. I mean, and you just said it, it is a great way to help and give back to our community. How do you see those scholarships shaping the future of paramedics?
Well, hopefully we can prove the concept that we have here, that by helping some people that might not be able to afford the schooling, we can still get great paramedics. We know we've got a very varied group of people here. You know, some of our guys came from well-to-do families. Some of our guys came from families that struggled and everywhere in between. So we know there's good people out there that can be great paramedics and great firefighters. And sometimes all they need is that little boost to get them through that schooling and get them into the field and get them working. So we hope this is the key to that. We can replicate it.
That is a great way to put it. Indeed, so this opportunity is not only helping give back to our community, but it's helping the candidates, whoever that are applying to this opportunity. It is a great 6 scholarships. Again, as we said, they're available at the West Bloomfield Fire Department. Dave, are there any final words you would like to say to anyone who wants to apply or want to pursue a career in paramedics?
Anybody interested, even if you don't have your EMT license or you don't have those things done, anybody at all that is interested in learning more about becoming a firefighter, stop by the stations, come to admin here on Maple Road between Orchard Lake and Middle Belt and stop in. We would love to show you around, show you the trucks and equipment and introduce you to the crews and show you what the daily activities look like here in West Bloomfield. And hopefully it appeals to you and we get more people in the field. It is a great field to be in, but right now we're struggling to hire people, and we're going to be retiring a lot of people in the not too distant future. So we want to get ahead of this and have people coming up through the ranks as others are retiring and moving on to other things.
Dave DeBoer, Deputy Fire Marshal of the West Bloomfield Fire Department, thank you so much for joining us again. To anybody who wants to apply to these 6 scholarships, we will be sharing a link to the application on our social media at Civic Center TV 15 on Facebook and on our Instagram at Civic Center. You can also visit the West Bloomfield Fire Department's website. We will also be sharing the website and all the information along this interview in particular, with all the amazing insights that Deputy Fire Marshal Dave just gave us. Thank you so much again for being with us. Coming up next on this Flash Live, a lot more news coming up, a lot more events with your companion, friends, and dogs. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
We'll be right back with the Splash Live.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Pure is what you make of it. It's how the hustle of the cities can change the course of history. It's the beauty of the things we create on a canvas, on a plate, or stretched high above the sidewalk. It's a patch of green or a stretch of blue, right in the heart of downtown. It's the buzz of it all, or if you prefer, it's tuning it all out. Clear your schedule and pursue your Pure in Pure, Michigan.
I don't know why you're so sad. You've got a roof over your head.
You gotta stop with that depressing stuff. That's what white people think. You alright?
It just feels like it's coming from everywhere.
Do you want to talk about it?
You can talk to me if you're feeling sad.
Whenever you need to talk, I'm here, okay?
And now, back to The Splash, live.
Welcome back to The Splash Live, Greater West Bloomfield's live daily news and talk show. It's your stories from your hometown across your community, social media. I'm Tyler Kieft alongside Dayan Chaaban. Thank you for joining us on Civic Center TV and on 89.3 Lakes FM, as well as online on our website at civiccentertv.com, on our Facebook page at Civic Center TV 15, as well as on our companion Facebook page today, the West Bloomfield Fire Department joining us, and we give a big welcome to everybody joining us today on their Facebook page once again this week. And you can also find us on YouTube at Civic Center TV, a great place to watch us. Even if you only have a few minutes at certain points of your day, that's the place to go, because you can go right back to that same link in your YouTube account and start right back off where you left off later on if you can't join us for our full 1-hour program all throughout the day, as we give you the latest news and information from across the Greater West Bloomfield and Oakland County communities. Here in West Bloomfield, a new effort through the West Bloomfield School District is helping young adults recover their high school education. Look, sometimes things come up in life. You drop out of school, you maybe decide you're done with school, you want to enter the workforce, or maybe you never got your high school diploma at all, and now you're a few years down the line and you want to get that degree to help you take the next step in your life, maybe even pursue higher education. The Laker Opportunity Center, or TLOC, is a new initiative through the West Bloomfield School District allowing you to recover your high school credits and complete your high school diploma online with some in-person support. This is for students, as it says on this graphic on your screen on civiccentertv.com, 16 to 22 years of age. High school recovery credit recovery opportunities through online classes are available. And then in addition to the online classes, there are individual in-person support days that are available. Every single student will be assigned a certified teacher to provide them with support as they go through this effort to complete their high school diploma or recover some of their high school credits that maybe they got a little bit behind on. Maybe they're supposed to be in their junior or senior year and they're an academic sophomore. This is an opportunity to take a little bit of extra time toward your education each and every week and catch up, or even get back to your level and complete your high school diploma. Enrolling students right now through the West Bloomfield School District, the Laker Opportunity Center accepts students from Oakland, Wayne, and Macomb counties. You can find more information by visiting WBSD.org. WBSD.org. This is a new effort through the school district. If you go to that website, and I'm just going to go ahead and pull up a page right now so I can see this as I'm referencing it for you. We don't necessarily need to put this on the screen. You go to WBSD.org, and if you scroll over their schools, there is a link to the Laker Opportunity Center. So that's all you have to do. WBSD.org, scroll over their schools link at the top of the page on your computer web browser, and you'll see a link to the Laker Opportunity Center, and that will give you more information on this. Diana, great effort by the West Bloomfield School District to help students in West Bloomfield, but also in all throughout Oakland County, Macomb County, and Wayne County. They're looking to complete their high school diploma, but not necessarily have the time to do that on a traditional level, going into night school or something like that. This is an opportunity to take these classes online and have that in-person support, human to human, that is often necessary at any level of education.
Tyler, I think this is one of the most amazing opportunities available right now, and does resonate with Oakland County's Oak 80. We mentioned that yesterday. They are trying to get adults who are aged 22 or 25 and older to get back into the schooling system, trying to get their education and go into in-demand careers. It's a win-win for both the individual who is seeking the education and for our workforce. So this is a great opportunity for both sides. It's a great opportunity for the individual also, because I know a lot of people, Tyler, I mean, before we became American immigrants, a lot of people from back in my home country, they did suffer going back to high school due to safety issues, unfortunately. So having the opportunity to go back and finish your education is something incredible. It truly is. So I think this is a great opportunity for whoever who wants to, again, go into this another field, change their careers, or trying to change their lives. This is the opportunity to do so.
Yeah, the Laker Opportunity Center is the name of this new effort through the West Bloomfield School District, wbsd.org for more information. Online classes with in-person support available, a one-person to one-person, student to certified teacher support role relationship that will also be involved for students 16 to 22 years old in Oakland, Wayne, and Macomb counties. Also coming up in just over the weekend, on Labor Day weekend, Diane, this is a good one for you. Labor Day weekend, the naturalists at West Bloomfield Parks will be taking you and your dogs on a walk at the Civic Center Trail. If you don't know, there are trails right behind Town Hall, the Recreation Activity Center, the West Bloomfield Library, the Police Department that you can walk on, and plenty of great nature in that area to explore. What better way to explore it than with your dog and with a West Bloomfield Parks naturalist? Saturday, September 2nd, 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. This is a free event that begins at the Recreation Activity Center, aka the West Bloomfield Parks building in the Town Hall complex right next door to us in West Bloomfield. It'll be a naturalist-led hike. If you bring a dog along with you at all times, at least one adult must be handling the dog, and the dog must be on a leash for the duration of the event. It is a free event, as I said. wbparks.org. They do want you to register, so go to wbparks.org, click on their events calendar. You'll find this event and registration information, and you're going to have to register to attend this event, even though it is free, but open to everybody in our community and surrounding areas for free. Make sure you register for this event. You just got a couple more days to do it before Saturday at 10 o'clock. Otherwise, you're going to be having a time that would be described as rough. That's right. I did that. I went there. Shameful moment for me on this Thursday morning. I'd like to issue an immediate apology. And Diane, I'm going to kick this over to you while I shamefully sit here in the pit of punnage as you discuss this event, because it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun, a beautiful weekend, a great opportunity to get out in nature. And dogs love to explore the nature just as much as we do.
Tyler, if you think this is shameful, you should see me talking to my dog out in the neighborhood or as I'm walking here. People give me those weird looks like, "Are you okay, lady?" And I like that you refer to me with that event, because everybody now can know that I am that crazy dog lady. So I do love these kind of events. I'm the type of person that loves to enjoy long weekends or even celebrate my birthday or even Christmas. I'm that type of person that loves to buy gifts for my dog on every event, on every occasion. So this is a great opportunity for everyone who is like me, or every dog lover and every dog owner, to enjoy the nature and give your dog this amazing exercise on a beautiful Saturday morning. So again, Saturday is going to be, it's a great thing that Saturday morning is going to be partly cloudy, because it is better for our dogs. You don't want them to heat up. So I think also it's a great opportunity for the dogs, great opportunity for us to exercise and see these amazing views and trails in our county, and give those dogs some sniffs. And hopefully they will overcome those rough days where you go to work and they have to sit alone. I did it, Tyler.
Plenty of great opportunities. And you know what? If anything else, this event will help you get away from our silly puns over the weekend and let you take a break from watching the Splash live on demand on CivicCenterTV.com. We just got a couple more minutes here before we need to do what we call a reset and get back to the top of the program as we head into a new part of our day on the Splash Live. But so we'll keep it here for a little while and talk about some other fun events coming up on the business side of the community. Casey Crane from Crane's Communication, as well as Roop Raj, one of our counterparts with less puns, of course, at Fox 2 Detroit. We'll be having a discussion on leadership in business and communication in business through the Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce. This event coming up, it's a morning event, September 27th at 8:30 a.m. at Wabi Country Club in West Bloomfield. You got to register on westbloomfieldchamber.com by September 21st in order to attend. Tickets are available right now on their website. Calvin, I believe we do have a QR code for that will take you directly to that link. If not, westbloomfieldchamber.com, I know for sure it is right there on their homepage. So I'll just encourage you instead. Go to gwbchamber.org, westbloomfieldchamber.org, and you will find the information you need about this event upcoming. Also, another really fun event you can participate in is the Chamber Cup Challenge, October 3rd at Beacon Hill Golf Club in Commerce. It's a battle between the Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce and the Lakes Area Chamber of Commerce. Some friendly competition and a fun day out on the links. Again, October 3rd. You are going to need to register for that event as well by September 25th, and that's also got information on westbloomfieldchamber.com. Moving right along in our community, the West Bloomfield School District, next week, the day after Labor Day, is your last opportunity to provide in-person feedback to the West Bloomfield School District's Strategic Visioning Committee, as well as the school board as they approach the next school board meeting and future school board meetings to confirm their 10-year strategic plan for the school district. This is going to be happening Tuesday, September 5th at 7 o'clock at the ACS building in West Bloomfield. That's on Pontiac Trail and Commerce Road. Those are the cross streets at the administrative building for the West Bloomfield School District. 5810 Commerce Road. Commerce Road and Pontiac Trail in West Bloomfield is where this event is going to happen. It is entirely in person. In the past, they've had virtual events. This one will only be in person. And it's a great event also to attend if maybe English is not your primary language, or you want, or you're more comfortable listening to and discussing these topics in your native language. Spanish, Arabic, and Japanese translators are going to be available at this event next week. WBSD.org for more information, including ways you can get in contact with the West Bloomfield School District to provide your feedback if you aren't able to and available to attend that event in person September 5th at the West Bloomfield School District. Diane, a few more minutes left in the program today. We talked earlier on in the program about the sort of fall-like weather we've had early on this week, the light breeze and the lower temperatures. That always makes people think about those apple orchards and those cider mills. A great resource available to explore which ones of those are already opening or opening soon in the next coming weeks.
That is true, Tyler. So Michigan orchards and cider mills, they have opened their door slightly early this fall, so it's an amazing opportunity for people to go and enjoy these amazing ciders, these sceneries, the change of trees, of course, Tyler. It's coming, whether we like it or not, and to indulge themselves in some amazing donuts. This is what I love about fall. It's the donuts in the cider mill. Other things to enjoy are they do provide a lot of other activities, such as petting zoos for the kids. So there's a lot of fun activities for the kids and games. So it's a great way to spend a weekend with your family, whether you have kids or even if you're older. Great opportunity to enjoy all our orchards and apples here in Michigan. In other news, Tyler, a very important alert system has been launched by the Oakland County. It's called Oak Alert. So they started this Oak Alert system after all the thunderstorms that happened previously, and essentially it is to warn agencies, residents, and everybody in our community about upcoming severe weather or non-weather events, any event that may affect their life. So if you want to sign up, you can go into oakgov.com and make sure you sign up to receive those alerts, whether it's via text message or emails. You can choose whatever you want to get, whatever type of alert you want to get, but it is truly essential to just sign up.
Yeah, you can also text Oak Alert to 99411 to sign up for OakGov alerts through Oak Alert as well. And then on the local level, if you go to Nixel, Nixel, There's information on how you can sign up for alerts from your local police, fire, and other emergency departments as well. Plenty of more news and stories from all across our community coming up later on today and all throughout the week. It is your home for your stories from your community media outlet right here on The Splash Live. Plenty of more news and information all throughout the day and all throughout the week. Stay with us. We'll be back with more very soon on The Splash Live.